Hello, good evening, SC viewers. This is Southline Media. Let us address this victim mentality always coming from the north. Because currently, I don't know why they want to distort facts. This one is coming from Sariki. Of course, the person goes by Sariki as a Twitter handle. He's saying that northern Nigeria could have been a paradise if bandits and Boko Haram hasn't been planted to destroy us. He went further to say that creating insecurity in the north is the only way other regions can compete with us. You begin to wonder why somebody should be speaking in this manner, because we understand that it doesn't matter the opinion of anybody. It is clear that the issue of insecurity in the north is self-afflicted. It's self-afflicted because the northern part of the country, the leaders fail to do what they should do. There are so many things they needed to do to address insecurity. It's not just only through kinetic approach. It's not just through the barrel of gun. Because when people are vulnerable to be radicalized, there is no way you can address it through the barrel of gun. Because even if you kill all the Boko Haram, all the ISWAP members, and Saru terrorist organization, all the likes of Toji Bello, other people will definitely rise to become terrorists because they are not giving them the right education. Talking about the education in the north, let's start from there. That's what I'm saying, it's self-afflicted. Let us look at it from psychological point of view, because the psychologists see the brain of a newly born child as a tabula rasa, a clean slate on which the caretaker write anything he or she wishes to write. So by the time you born children in the north, allow them to roam on the street, they grow in the wild without being checked. Of course, they'll be vulnerable to be radicalized and recruited into banditry, Boko Haram, ISWAP, name it. It was recently we saw a video that went viral online where Hisba police raided streets in Kano State, and about 230 children were arrested in various places. And unfortunately, no parents were ready to come forward to identify and claim their children. So it speaks volume of what we are into as a people. It speaks volume of what the country is battling with. So that's why I'm saying that the lies of Sariki is totally wrong, because the North have failed to do the right thing. And of course, no region have ruled this country more than the North since the inception of this independence, this country. So I don't think they have any excuse to start justifying that somebody planted insecurity in their region. We have equally seen in the past where the governors, about 12 of them in the north, we liaise with America to even fight a Jonathan government. We have even seen the lives of Murtala Yako during that time, I think in 2013 or so, where he alleged that the government of Jonathan was killing the northern youths, was committing genocide against the youths, simply because the government of Jonathan then was fighting Boko Haram with every tenacity, with every force the federal government could garner. I think this one now, okay, let me read from Premium Times, of course, so that we have a sense of what we are saying here. This is their online version, saying Governor Nyako accused Jonathan administration of genocide against northern Nigeria. He said the administration has also hired military from all across, especially north. Okay, from what we have here, this is Premium Times. He's saying Governor Nyako accuses Jonathan administration of genocide against northern Nigeria. He went further to say, and this thing happened in April 19, 2014. He went further to say, the administration has also hired military from all across, especially North Africa, who have been deceived into accepting to come because they were made to believe that they would be fighting infidels. Governor Murtala Enyako of Adamawa State has accused the federal government of carrying out genocide against the people of northern Nigeria. The governor made the accusation in a memo titled Ongoing Full-Fledged Genocide in Northern Nigeria, which is sent to the Northern State Governors, Forum. So, he said, while every state government is doing everything possible, using virtually all of its resources to stem the tide of near disaster facing all of us, especially in the north, it is a well-known fact that the present federal administration has now become a government of impunity, run by an evil-minded leadership for the advancement of corruption that is apparently enjoying the protection of the federal administration, Mr. Enyako said. He said the government is using mass murderers through cutthroat embedded in our legitimate and traditional defense and security organizations to carry out the genocide claim. So a situation where this actually came from a northern governor then, you are now coming, the likes of Sariki is now turning around to say that it is people that planted insecurity as a way of slowing down the development of the north. Of course, for me, it is it is unthinkable, and I don't know what he want to achieve with that. Even the former governor of Niger State, talking about Aliyu, accused his colleagues in the past of conniving with America to pull down Jonathan government, and at the time he accused them of deceit. I think this one is coming from coming from Vanguard in 2015. He said 2015, how US work with 12 anti-Jonathan governors, ex-Niger governor Babangida Aliyu. We may not have more time to go into details of that, but let me just read some part of it. He said Abuja, former governor of Niger State, Dr. Muazu Babangida Aliyu, has revealed that U.S. government officials invited at least 12 northern governors to the U.S. to ascertain their level of commitment to removing Jonathan, and not just on how to curtail the Boko Haram insurgency as suggested. So what this is saying is that they actually went to the U.S. with the claim that they were going to have summit or conversation or how to fight insurgency. But the ultimate thing they went there for actually was hidden. It was how to remove Jonathan. And Jonathan was actually fighting Boko Haram with every tenacity, with every force federal government could gather at the time. And you could clearly see how governors in the region actually gang up against him to remove him. And today, they are now crying that someone planted insecurity in their region. So I think they should know better, because I don't think anybody actually planted insecurity in their region. Personally, I don't believe that. Okay, let me get some reaction from people. This is coming from Charles Igwe. He said he's replying to the same Sariki. He said nobody planted insecurity in the north. The people allowed insecurity to take root through extremist religious ideologies and through the action and inactions of political, religious, and traditional northern leaders. I think he is very correct, because they are the one that refuse to educate their people. They are the one that is actually managing every aspect of life in that region. So from what we can understand, they actually are their own problem. This one is coming from Finding Solace. He said Boko Haram was actually created to channel money, I think, to the north. Let us get some reaction as well. This one is coming from Sapio. Okay. This one is saying, who planted what exactly? Aren't the bandits and Boko Haram members northerners? like you, is referring to the same Sariki. Don't they share the same faith as many in your region? Playing the victim or looking for external blame won't solve anything. The real issue are illiteracy, poverty, and systemic neglect. Okay, let me now dwell on this one because it's saying that the real issue is illiteracy. Though I dwell on this prayer before, we understand that even in Nigeria currently, where the states where you have the highest number of out of school children is in the northern part of the country. You have a place like Sokoto, a place like Kebbi, a place like Yobe, as places that has the highest level of out of school children, running into about 50-something%, 60%, as the case may be. And the uneducated mind, it doesn't matter anybody's opinion, is vulnerable to be radicalized, is vulnerable to be recruited as terrorists, as bandits, as the case may be. So I think it's very correct that illiteracy plays a major role in this direction, contrary to the opinion of Sariki, who is looking for who to blame, who is trying to play victim mentality, who is trying to say that the issue of insurgency, issue of terrorism is planted in the north as it was slowing down the north, that if not for that, that nobody would have been able to compete with the north. So I don't know what he meant by that, but I doubt, I strongly disagree with him. Nobody planted it other than it is a failure of leadership in the north that gave rise to what we have today as insurgency. Now let me quickly look at this one coming from Felele. He's saying, was it northern was it northern elites and northern leaders who planted these bandits and banditry in the north? 2, is it the northern elites, northern governors, and northern leaders who have been watering the planted bandits and banditry in the north? Did the farmers, he's trying to ask whether the farmers actually planted it. But I think my response to this is clear. If you are saying they are not, the northern leaders are not the one that planted it directly, but their action and inaction actually gave rise to it. Because by the time you born a child and you refuse to take care of the child, you refuse to educate the child will be vulnerable to be radicalized. The child will be vulnerable to be recruited into banditry, into insurgency, and all manner of evil activities in the society. Of course, the child will be a menace to the society. We have discussed this here that even in Kano State recently, Hisbah police raided the streets of Kano State and they arrested a good number of children, about 230 of them, who of course were allowed to roam about without good parental care. So if those ones grow up to a level where they can be used by bandits, Boko Haram, ISWAP, who say they will not be recruited because they have been left uncared for. Like I said earlier on, from psychological point of view, it sees the newly born child, the brain, as a tabula rasa, a clean slate on which the caretaker can write anything he or she wishes to write. So by the time you born a child, you allow the child to roam about, you are not writing the norms of the society, positive issues into the child, into the brain of the child. Then the evil influencer of the society will help you mold the child and write what they want to write and use it for their own purpose. I think that's exactly what is happening in the north. It doesn't matter. I think the north must know the truth, and it is only when you know the truth, you know the epicenter of your problem, that you can know where and how to start addressing it. Now that they already know that this thing is their problem, I think it's not too late. Going forward, they should put policies in place. 1, they should address issue of out of school children. And as we have it, the Nigerian policy on education of basic universal education already make it clear that the child have right of education, compulsory education, at least from age 6 to of junior primary school. I think the northern leaders should take it upon themselves as a responsibility to ensure that they educate their children, if not for anything, at least up to that level of junior secondary school. Because when they do that, I think the society can take it up from there, and the level of vulnerability of the children of being radicalized, being used by all these evil elements of society will greatly reduce. I think this is a piece of advice for the northern leaders, and this is a good place to let it go. Thank you very much. I'm Mr. Matthew, and this is Live Media.